now have Don Marshall, Chair of the Solid Waste Resource Management Advisory Committee, providing an update to Council.
Good morning, Council, Mayor Adler and Councillors. I need to comment initially what a privilege it is to work with a council who obviously work effectively and efficiently and with some humor at times. It's really nice to see. So thank you for that. You have in front of you my draft executive summary, and I apologize for the scribble at the bottom. I was making notes to myself before I got in here to get this copy. Our short-term education plan for food scraps is up to date and ready for July the 4th initiation. Everything seems to be heading in the right direction. I'm not someone who watches the forum regularly, so I hear that there's things going in different directions there, but I'm confident that it will work well. We have some new handouts that cover backyard composting, where can I get a bin for my food scraps, and how should I collect my food scraps.
Can I just interrupt you? The bins for the food scraps, I was in the Early Bird on Saturday or yesterday, I can't remember. And they are supposed to receive their supply of bins tomorrow. So anybody,
it's good to know,
doesn't have it.
That's encouraging, Mayor. Early Bird has been behind the curve on this from the word go. From my perspective.
But they realized that they should have had it. It didn't come in last week, but I'm told it's going to be here Tuesday.
Good. We'll update that on our questions. So the information in these three recent handouts is, of course, referenced in our frequently asked questions that's available online. Committee members will be on site June 29th and July 3rd to help answer questions for staff who will be busy completing tax things and handing out the depots. Will Hilson is working with Bowen Waste Services to facilitate pickup of food scraps from commercial and multi-family sites. Technically, this is not mandatory. Metro Vancouver has not mandated that from commercial and multifamily sites until the end of next year. But I've had a number of commercial enterprises like Tuscany come to me and say, we want to be part of this. And it's a matter of sorting out with Bowen Waste, because commercial pickup happens on Thursday, but food scraps is going to happen on Wednesday. So there's a sorting out there to be done between Bowen Waste Services and the municipality.
John, how about the budget implications of that? Because right now the commercials pay for having their waste picked up separately.
We're very aware of that issue and trying to work that out as to how that will impact. And for instance, on that issue, we have become aware that when solid waste goes to Vancouver and gets charged at the tipping fee at the dump, that includes both residential and commercial. And we don't know how that sorts out yet. It's something that we have to work on and negotiate with Bowen Waste Services. And as the new contract begins to come up, there will be some research needed on that. Some of these things we've been aware of for a while and are in the back of our head in terms of where we're going, and have not been able to solve them yet. Peter Taggart, Di Roberts, and Will Hilson visited sites in Saanich on Vancouver Island and attended a seminar meeting of Coast Waste Management Association. That's not society, sorry. They gained valuable information and many good contacts. Coast Waste Management Association will be a valuable resource for us, and the committee recommends that we join them. I'm not sure how that comes forward, probably through Will, I would assume. Kathy?
Yes, the idea is to bring that report forward in early September.
Okay, thank you. It's a nominal fee to join this organization.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about the contract itself. I got distracted by the mayor, sorry.
Sorry, Don.
No, we can do that internally as staff, so you and I can chat about that.
We are giving thoughts to what is needed for the long-range education plan, which would include, among others, how we can reduce making waste and integrate that into lifestyles. And this kind of comes from the concept of zero waste, looking at the best way to handle solid waste is not have any. And that's a lifestyle thing that is being worked on across North America, certainly probably across the world. And it's something that we can get involved in too. I think we have, as I've said before, we have a leg up on this because we already do recycling in a very effective way. And we continue to study the economics of solid waste collection and removal, the various systems of processing organics on the island, and how we can help the community to develop good organic handling practices while keeping our eye on our long-term work plan. The economics issue is something that I've already mentioned a little bit about in terms of the cost of tipping fees. And we are beginning to get our head around what the elements might be in a new contract, what we think we should expect and want, and that will be forthcoming, and hopefully, well, the plan is by the end of the year we will have a new contract ready to go out for bid. On that point, I'm expecting that I will be asked to report to council in a closed meeting about our thoughts about the contract.
That's right.
What, can you give me some clue as to when that will happen?
That's what I mentioned earlier. We're looking at early September, our first meeting in September.
Okay, that's fine. Good, thank you. The other parts of the economics and the study of that whole issue of waste collection and removal bears on what our carbon footprint is in many aspects of it. Car travel on the island, truck travel on the island, truck travel off the island, taking our waste away, and looking at what is best for Bowen, both economically and ecologically. And it's a complex issue, and it's in our minds, and we're working on it, and we don't have any hard and fast solutions at this point. That's my report, Mr. Mayor.
Well, thank you, Don. And I should publicly say that Don has received the Islands Trust Stewardship Award this year. It's going to be awarded in September, I understand, at a joint meeting with the Islands Trust. And you're to be congratulated for that. And I wanted to do that publicly. The council is very supportive of what you've done, and obviously the Islands Trust is as well. So you're thanked by the council and the mayor. But I think it's important that the public know this as well. It's an honor.
Congratulations.
That's well deserved.
It was. Don got the climate change award of the stewardship, Islands Trust Stewardship Award, which is
well,
I think the most prestigious one.
It leads into everything that you've been talking about for the past long time, I'm sure. And I just wanted to say one other word, that one of your members, Bob Bagshaw, he just had open heart surgery, and he had 6 bypasses, not 5, 6 bypasses. And it's interesting, I was talking to him
Oh, good.
Before he went into the operation. He came through it fine, I understand, and just so you know, and the public knows that Bob was very interested in this committee, and he's going to be slowed down from the committee, although not. In talking to Bobby Bagshot, he tells me that he's ready to go back to work, so I don't know.
He's a keener, I must say.
He is a keener.
And fortunately, we've been in contact through his son, and he is doing well.
Yeah.
We're very pleased about that.
So you pointing out that he had 6. Is he beating me now? You? By
Beating
one?
me by a punt. And I think that's the reason, I'm sure he told him to, I want to beat him, Jack.
Yeah, I thought 5 was unusual. I thought it was usually 3 or 4.
6.
Yeah, it used to be triple was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6.
Technology.
Technology being what
It's
it
a
is.
complete plumbing overhaul.
Yeah.
Don, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I just, further down on the agenda, it mentions what you've just already announced, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, I thought I'd bring it up just if you.
My wife will be very disappointed that she wasn't here to be
Oh.
part of it, but I'm assuming you will pass that by later on.
I will pass it by if she walks in, we'll make sure to pass it by.
Okay.
Is she planning on being here for that?
She was,
Oh,
but
okay.
she's on duty at the Nook for till noon, so you had perfectly timed it according to the agenda, but I will just report to her what's been said. I might say just in passing, it is very pleasing to be recognized for time put in. But one of the things that makes that doubly pleasurable is that, you know, it's in an environment where, in a community where there's a lot of support for that sort of thing. I mean, we have huge volunteer bases on the island here. So it makes, and it produces great committee members. And I would mention one back here, Ann Shalot, who's a member of the Zero Waste Committee, which technically I'm still the chair of, although we haven't had a meeting for a while. So the milieu to be able to work hard is great, and it's rewarding in that sense. It's my motivation, of course, is my grandchildren and soon to be great grandchild.
Wow.
So it's good to be doing it for that sake. And all along through my practice life, etc., meeting with people, being with people is part of my motivation. So to be able to continue that on in a different context within committee work is equally important. And I've always been guided by a statement that was made by our executive secretary for the Canadian Dental Association shortly after I started to practice, when he said there's nothing more evil than for a good man, to do nothing. And another one, you know, if not me, then who? So.
You're safe for me.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you,
Much
Don.
appreciated.
Yeah, congratulations again.
Our next item is a delegation from the Bowen Island Heritage Preservation Association.
They're not here.
No, they're not here. Going once?
Well, why don't we move them to the bottom of the list, and if they show up,
Our next item is the formation of the Economic Development Advisory Committee. Lisa is not here, I just filed a report. The recommendation, I think you've all had an opportunity to review the draft terms for reference. They were circulated to council early last week. And the recommendation is that council establish a select committee called the Economic Development Advisory Committee, and that council approve the terms of reference for this committee as attached to the report from the interim deputy corporate officer dated June 18, 2012, and that council direct staff to advertise for members of this committee on the municipal website and in the undercurrent weekly newspaper.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Question?
Yeah. And I apologize for not having read the draft. I kept going to go and do it, and then midnight came on and I did. I don't have a problem with setting up a committee. I just got a couple of questions. In 3.1, you've got the word voting in front of sector representatives. And then go on and say resulting in 11 voting members. I mean, I think that's all redundant because you're a member of the committee, you're voting unless you say otherwise.
I think if we remove the word voting.
Yeah, and the whole other thing resulting in 11 voting members. And then my other question had to do with, it's not clear because it says 9 sector representatives. So if one of the sectors isn't going to be represented, then there might only be 8. It's not that you could have 2 from that sector. That's not the intent, right? So,
Well, wasn't the intent was to represent each of the sectors.
each of the sectors to have a representative. So,
But it was recognizing that we might not have representation from the sector, which is why it's a maximum of 9.
so yeah, I was just concerned a little bit understanding that. And then the other is I don't think the finance committee is going to be happy with the finance committee will act in an advisory capacity as required, because that should be in their terms of reference that we would act as an advisory committee to the economic development committee. Something more along the lines that the committee liaise with the finance review task force. Rather than
You're suggesting to replace act with liaise?
well,
Is that what you?
Sorry,
no,
The 3.6.
well, the EDAC liaise with the FRTF,
Yes.
and rather than have a for advice as needed or something.
As we can just leave it as required.
Yeah,
I was just trying to avoid the word liaise.
I know, but
Because you have trouble spelling?
I'm not sure that
Anyway.
I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to sell them on another task. So, and we had good wording in the community center.
I think there's good wording here too.
Well, you sell them on another task. And the Bowen Island under C, the Bowen Island historians, their name is the Bowen Island Museum and Archives. They officially changed the name.
Good catch.
And I was wondering why that list and why not some other organizations being on there, like the Ag Alliance and.
Well, that's it, and other organizations as appropriate.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I saw that, but I just thought some other organizations might wonder why they were not listed.
Well, we can point that out to them.
Or
It
you
does
put
say
in-
as are appropriate, and they can.
Put in such as.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
That's it.
That's
Oh,
a
such
good
as.
idea, Crow.
Such as was not limited.
Such as, but not limited.
Yeah.
Anything further,
No.
Councillor?
Oh, except one little question on process. Who's going to do all the work?
Are you volunteering?
No. Under 2.3, it says the committee will prepare and prioritize a list of items to be included in the budget,
That's the
and
committee.
then a work plan, but the purpose is to provide recommendations to council on policies and strategic initiatives. So, who's going to do the work, I guess was my
The
question.
committee.
Is that clear in there?
Well, it says the committee.
Perhaps not.
Could there be anything clearer?
It is to me.
In 2.4, it says they'll prepare a work plan.
Yeah.
But their mandate was only to provide recommendations on policies.
They'll prepare the work plan and execute.
But the work plan would be a recommendation to council.
That the following be done. And then who's going to do the following, I guess, is.
The council. Anything further? Question? I'll accept those. So we have, sorry.
We haven't moved and seconded the,
Yeah. we moved
so
this.
that's, I'm writing as amended to the terms of reference.
So you'll accept that in the second or? Okay.
I'll second that.
Anything further? All those in favor? Thank you.